Somehow we've just all kind of come to accept the fact that the end of a life is a painful but also messy time, right? There's not only the profound grief in losing somebody you love, but then there's also all the unnecessary suffering of family bickering and rifling through documents and cleaning out homes and trying to figure out what to do with stuff. And what about grandpa's watch? All the boys want it and we don't know who to give it to because grandpa didn't say. There is a very simple way to relieve a lot of the unnecessary suffering that goes into the end of a life, and that is by planning for it. In my experience as a lawyer and a certified death midwife, I've come to see how creating a clear and concise written plan for how you want to be treated nearing the end of your life, what to do with your possessions, where all your accounts are, what the important information is, and how to handle your affairs can save significant money, time, headache, and heartache for those people that you love most that are going to be grieving. I have yet to hear of anybody say that they want their family to go into debt over a funeral or burial or cremation, right? But that's often the story. People spend thousands of dollars on elaborate funerals and on fancy caskets, whereas most people would prefer something relatively simple. Yet in the midst of grief, families walk into funeral homes and often take the options that are presented to them. Now, if we could just say beforehand, keep it simple, or here's some money to cover it, the family wouldn't have to go into debt trying to have an elaborate funeral or a expensive burial or cremation. A direct cremation can cost as little as $625, yet people spend over $7,000 on it. There's also a lot of time that can be saved. After somebody dies, people are often going to and from court or going through documents and papers and going through a house. If we were to write down very clearly where our accounts are, how much money's in them, what our passwords are, how we pay our gas bill, what our social security number is, you know, very simple and basic things like that, we could save our family so much time, either in our last moments on earth or right after we die, precious time that they could be grieving or holding the hand of somebody that they love. Now, would you rather that, or they spend time on hold at Social Security to try and figure out what benefits may be coming? There's so much headache and heartache that also goes into the end of a life, and that can be saved by planning for it. I've seen families absolutely ripped apart over disputes, not only over possessions, but also things like life support. Families trying to decide whether or not to bury somebody or to cremate them, or whether it's time to go ahead and turn off all life support because there's nothing more that can be done. If we could state clearly what our wishes are for treatment nearing the end of our lives, it could save our families so much heartache over having to agonize over decisions about what you might have wanted in that position. There is such a burden that could be relieved by simply planning for it. In a short 2-hour consultation, we can begin the process of planning for the end of your life. Contact Going with Grace and let us support you in not leaving a messy estate so that the people that love you, that will be left behind, can spend their time grieving rather than trying to clean up your mess.